Good morning, it's Simon here from Morillon in the Grand Massif, and today's video is all about whether Morillon is a great base for your Grand Massif ski holiday. But before we get into the details of it, let's take a lap on one of my favourite laps in Morillon. I think the best way to show you whether Morillon is a good base for your ski or snowboard holiday is to take you on a bit of a ski safari. I've done a couple of laps here in Morillon this morning, but it's time to get around the other Grand Massif resorts. So let's head to Samoëns, Les Carroz and Flaine. From the top of Morillon, you've got a couple of options if you're looking to head to the neighbouring resorts. There is a cat track that you can take along to the Grand Chair in Les Carroz. However, my favourite option is to ride down to the Couluvrier chair. That's taking a red, then this blue to go to the longest chairlift in Europe. When the Couluvrier chair is open, it is a massive bonus for skiers and snowboarders based in Morillon. From the bottom of Couluvrier, you've got a 2.9 kilometre long chairlift, which gives you 1,000 metres of vertical gain to get you close to the Tête de Sèche. The Tête de Sèche is basically the intersection of the Grand Massif. From there you can ski back down into Morillon, you can go over into Les Carroz or Samoëns, or go to the connecting lifts of the mega resort Flaine. This is an absolute key bit of infrastructure for exploring the Grand Massif. It's here at the top of Couluvrier that you're really spoilt for choice. You can probably see over in the distance is the Tête de Sèche. If you follow behind that lift, you're heading back down into Les Carroz. Directly in front of me is the pathway to Flaine. However, behind me, let's go and tick off Samoëns, Morillon's neighbour, and get a couple laps through there before heading on to our next destination. So that is one of my favourite reds, not just in Samoëns but in the whole of the Grand Massif. The problem is it leads you out to the Chariand Express. Now, I made a video about why I think Samoëns maybe has a problem. I'll link it on screen, but for now I think it is one lap in Samoëns, so let's get exploring the rest of the Grand Massif. Just up there is the top of the Chariand Express, but it's time to leave Samoëns and head over towards Flaine. To do that, need to take this blue down to the Vernant chair, and then we'll be in another Grand Massif ski resort. Okay, so plan B. If you can just take a look down there, you'll see the queue for the Vernant chair, which leads you over into Flaine. I'm going to give that an hour or so to clear because everyone's coming from elsewhere in the Grand Massif to try and get across there. So I'm going to ride right down into Les Carroz. That's one of the things that I love about skiing in the Grand Massif, is that you just have options. Now, could have gone to Flaine, but the queues were absolutely huge, so decided to ride down into Les Carroz. Could have taken the Col Blanche lift, which was on the right hand side opposite the massive queues. That would have taken me back to the Tête de Sèche, and when I got to the bottom of that lovely blue run, could have taken the Tête de Sèche Express, which also would have taken me back up to the Tête de Sèche. Now, I'm here at Les Morillons. If I went that way, I could ride back down into Morillon, which shows just how well connected it is. However, I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to show you one of my favourite reds in Les Carroz. So to get to this red, you'll have to take the green through the beginners area, and then you'll find Rodos just over here. It's short, but it's sweet. Let's go. Love it. Now, that top part of Rodos is short but sweet, but it's definitely one of the nicest pictures of the reds here in the Grand Massif. Let's continue. I absolutely love those pieces in Les Carroz, and literally it is a stone's throw from Morillon. All you need to do is head to the top, and eventually you're going to end up on this piece here, which is going to lead down to the Grand Chair. To make a point of how well connected Morillon is to the rest of the Grand Massif, it's not even 11 AM yet. We've taken laps in Morillon locally, we've headed over to Samoëns, we've been in Les Carroz. There's still some time though to let those crowds of Flaine disappear, so I'm going to go and take another lap in Les Carroz. This is one of my favourites, and it takes you right to the bottom of the Caduce gondola. Okay, it's 11 minutes past 11. Behind me is the top of the Les Carroz gondola, and it's time to take my least favourite run in the whole of the Grand Massif, Marmot Les Carroz. It's always so busy. To give you some bearings, the lift that I've just got there is the Tête de Sèche, and looking down into the distance is the Venantia, which takes you over to Flaine. However, it's still got queues. So Morillon is back that way, Samoëns is that way, so let's go for one more lap through Samoëns and the Chariand Express. That's tough, but it does lead into quite a nice red run. So I think it's finally time to go and bite the bullet after a couple of runs in Samoëns. This morning, it's only like 12 o'clock, and this morning we've ridden in Morillon, in Les Carroz and Samoëns, and we're going to head over to Flaine. I hope you're starting to get the idea that actually the Grand Massif is a fantastic ski resort, and Morillon might just be that budget-friendly place to go and explore it, because I don't think I've had any detrimental time on snow or long queues from being based in Morillon. All of the queues have been found either at the bottom of the Chariand Express that I'm on now, or at the Venantia, which is heading over towards Flaine. So let's go and check out those queues. Hopefully it's not too bad, and I'll show you a couple of my favourite runs within Flaine Ski Resort. So to be fair, from the back of that queue at Venant to the top of it was only 10 minutes. What was I complaining about? Time to ride into Flaine. Riding down, I spotted that the Gers drag lift is open. It looks pretty tracked out, but could be worth one lap. This drag lift, the Gers drag lift, is one of my favourites in the whole of the Grand Massif. It does give you a massive jolt right at the start, and it does have a 50-degree gradient. So you have to be able to ride drag lifts confidently to use this one. It is also banned for snowbladers, but if you can make it to the top, there is some really nice off-piste and a beautiful red run which leads right back down into Flaine. Okay, so I'm now stood on a blue run in Flaine called Serpentine. The views over in that direction are absolutely stunning, and way back over there, gondola station at 2,500 meters, that is the highest point in the Grand Massif. Now remember, we started our day down at 700 meters in Morillon. The time is 1:23. In that time, we have snowboarded through Les Carroz, Samoëns, Morillon, and now we're in Flaine, which I hope goes some way to demonstrating what a nice base Morillon is for your Grand Massif ski holiday. Because if we're being honest, you can access everywhere from there within half an hour to 40 minutes, and yeah, it's going to be much better for your budget. The run that I'm currently on, Serpentine, although it has this flat section, it leads to another run, Cascades. Now Cascades is a blue run that leads to the final resort here in the Grand Massif, 6 Cheval. The blue run Cascades is 14 kilometres long, and when you're there you can get back to Morillon via the local navettes, the free shuttle service. Cascades at the moment is closed as there isn't enough snow, so we're going to stick in Flaine for now. Hopefully I've demonstrated just how easy it is to get between Morillon, Les Carroz, Samoëns and Flaine, but how easy is it to get back? I've just decided to leave Flaine, taking the Grand Van's chair, and I am currently on one of my favourite blues in Flaine, Granat. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to show you that with one lift, Corde Blanche, you can get all the way back to the bottom of Morillon. Corde Blanche chair takes us straight back to the Tête de Seyss, and from the Tête de Seyss it's possible to ride straight back down to Morillon without catching any further lifts. From the top of Corde Blanche we've got all of our options back that way to Flaine, that way to Les Carroz, or straight ahead to Samoëns. However, if you can maintain the speed, we can make it all the way to Morillon. Now this piece, erect, takes you all the way back to the top of Morillon. And that is how with one lift from Flaine, you can be back in Morillon. This is the run that we started on first thing this morning. I'm going to ride down, find somewhere to do a recap. Woo! And just like that, with one lift, the Corde Blanche, you can get all the way back from Flaine to Morillon, and I'm here just above Morillon 1100. I really wanted to demonstrate that Morillon is a brilliant base for your ski holiday. Some people might be put off staying at 700 meters down in the valley where there hasn't been enough snow to ride back, and to be honest, for me it hasn't been a problem. I'd love to hear from you guys on whether you think Morillon would be a great base for a ski holiday, so let me know down below in the comments. If there's a reason that you wouldn't stay here, also please let me know. I'm open to that discussion, but I think it's such a beautiful part of the Grand Massif. As always, if you're here right to the end, I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon with another video.